And good morning to everybody. We've got a very cold potential week coming up here in Dallas, and I know most of you do too. So I hope that you guys all stay safe and warm. And just a quick safety moment before we launch. I just be careful if there is snow or ice on the ground, especially since it's some of the first hard freezes. Just a story. One time I was pressing on in meetings and going on, and I had what do you call them, like cowboy boots on with leather soles, which was a disaster. Anyway, so I schlepped my backpack over my shoulder and marched on into Apache's office, which was in Midland, Texas, and there was ice on the ground and they closed all the stuff, and I had a big slip and fall. And so don't wear cowboy boots with leather soles. They're great for dancing, not so much for in the ice. And I was lucky that I didn't break ribs or anything, but just be extra careful as we approach this very cold weather that's going to cross the United States. And so good morning. I'm thrilled to have you here today. My name is Suzanne Ogle. I am our SGA's CEO and president. And on the call with you, you have some of my staff as well as many of our members. We also have a board member, Arthur Corbin, who I'm thrilled to have as a perfect example of somebody who maximizes the offerings from SGA, and as does his entire company. We also have our learning staff on, which I'll introduce to you today too. It's a great, really talented team of learning professionals, a really good bench of knowledge and experience in the learning area. So I'm going to start on the left. On my left is Martha in the blue turtleneck. You might run into her. She does a lot of the webinars, and she does a lot of scheduling and interacting with our members. Next to her is Abby, and Abby is our LMS manager. She has a very extensive experience in LMS within the industry as well. And then Francesca is our director of learning, and Francesca also has a really deep bench of accreditation and learning experience. And so we're thrilled to have them. They're here as a resource for you as well. So I just wanted to start out, we're going to talk about the All-Access training program today. And I wanted to just start out really quickly with SGA, just a quick overview. So as your companies think about organizing for what the future looks like, SGA is really focusing on training that collectively addresses who we are as an energy source, how we operate safely and efficiently, and then how we lead and take care of our workforce. And this is a demonstration of your company's investing in you. And so as we think about our training and our programming, we're addressing workplace trends of shifting how people work, and therefore how you thrive into the future. And we know that people want to belong, right? They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so SGA has a core onboarding program, and that really helps your new hires that are coming into the natural gas industry. And these courses are to ensure that professionals understand and can articulate the critical role that natural gas plays in enabling an energy evolution. And we like to always encourage everybody to use the word evolution as we ensure resilient energy systems. And so also we have a lot of programming that will accelerate your learning in different areas, and we'll go into that a little bit. So this is just a quick overview of SGA, and you can see Southern Gas Association, our name is somewhat misleading. We started in Georgia in 1908 when the southern states were developing and they had a great demand for energy. But since then, our membership base goes across the entire, all of North America, frankly. We have members in Canada and assets throughout the United States. We have 600 members, both associates and operating companies. And this program, this All-Access program, is available to both. And you can see one of the things that's different about SGA as well is that we go across the entire value chain. So we have distribution, exploration and production, gas marketing, municipal members, midstream and transmission members. And they call that wellhead to burner tip. And that is the SGA membership base. And what that allows you is to get a diverse perspective of both geography and sector, as so that when you're talking about something, you're talking about and getting perspectives on how the entire energy value chain works together, which makes all of our companies better, because you can't distribute gas to a consumer if you don't have a supply. Okay, so the things we're going to talk about today are: what is the All Access program? how do you access the All Access program, register for it. We're going to go talk about a little bit about the calendar of the training. We have learning paths and then reporting and measurement. And then I want to get any kind of feedback from you, desired classes, and then just open it up to Q&A. So we'll start here. I just want to say, listen, this is a group of companies that have already invested in their employees, and I think it's really something to be celebrated and for you guys to feel really proud that you work for companies that are making sure that everybody has access to training. So your potential is only limited by your engagement. And so, all these companies have done it. If you're on the call and your company has not yet invested, not to worry. We have a lot of conversations going. It's early in January, but we are trying to make sure that everybody maximizes the program for the entire year. But you feel free to bring it up to our attention if you work for a company that you want to be part of it. So what is All Access training, right? So what we did, and this comes from a lesson learned, let me just back up a little bit. SGA has always been innovative in how we provide training, and they used to have what they called a broadcasting network. It was a broadcasting network. They had like a news station essentially, and they would broadcast out a monthly calendar, and the companies would pay a subscription fee, and then everybody could participate in the training. So over time, it evolved into more of an ad hoc type situation. And what we've learned, particularly with the pressures from inflation and regulatory costs to companies, that the training, when people have to go ask for permission to train and they have to ask for money to train, there's less training going on in the company. And so our mission is to make sure that we're linking people, ideas, and information, and we want to make sure everybody has as much access to training as they want to consume. And so what we did is we went out to our members and said, would you like to just pay a lump sum fee and all your employees can take as much virtual training as they want? And so these companies that you've seen before, and if you work for one of these companies, they said, yeah, this is what we want. We want to make sure that our employees have the maximum opportunity to participate in training. So they pay a flat fee, and you guys get a code. You should have received a code from your company already. And if you didn't receive a code, let us know. Each company has a specific code, and your email has to be set up right in your system too, because your email has to match the company that you work for. And then you can register for these programs, and it's no cost to you. So that gives everybody on the team the opportunity to grow. So All Access is, like I said, it's for all of our virtual offerings. It's not for in-person offerings, but it's for everything that's virtual. And you can see over here the different categories of training that it includes. So we have, like I talked about, the core, so orientation to the industry, commercial classes, energy future classes, which are, around some of the new fuels, RNG, LNG, hydrogen, carbon capture. Industry trends, like yesterday we had a regulatory setting kind of the landscape, leadership classes, operation classes, regulatory and compliance, safety and emergency management. So it really runs the whole gamut. So right now we're continuing to add classes as we go. We have a calendar that goes through June, and we'll continue to do a rolling calendar, so they'll be added on regularly. But through June, we have 72 unique courses that are offered right now. And some of them are offered multiple times, but there's 72 unique topics. And there's additional classes that are offered monthly. And the content is really driven by our members. And so what I'm challenging you with is, if you see something that isn't there that you want to see, let us know. Because what we want to do is make sure you guys are getting the training that's useful to you. And so, our committees bring us ideas, our board brings us ideas, our members bring us ideas, and we have our own ideas. And so it's really the culmination of all of that creates this really robust program. And I was just telling my staff, I was up in DC this week meeting with the other regional executives from all the other associations, and they were blown away by how much we're offering. And as a matter of fact, they are starting to sign up for our training. And so I really consider that a huge compliment to our team here. So again, this is the All Access Pass. What is it? It's affordable, it's flexible, and it's equitable. So if you can't attend a class on the specific day, you have 45 days to access the recording. You will do that through the campus, which is our LMS system, and it will be available to you for 45 days. But I'm going to tell you, we really encourage you to be there live and present. The reason that the live courses are different is because you get to have the interaction with the instructor, you get to have the interaction with the other people. And so this is a new world, right? In the old world, we all sat in classes together and you really got to know people and you got to benefit from the questions that they ask. And you learn because an instructor tells you so much, but it's that sharing of ideas and questions that are always amplifies that what you're learning. And so as you attend, we really encourage you to have your cameras on, to be present, to be asking questions, to be engaging. That's really the value of it. And I know it's really hard right now. Everybody's busy. You got lots of competing things for your time and attention, and everybody's sick of being on the computer. But you're going to get a way better experience if you turn your camera on and engage. And so while you have access to it for 45 days, we very much encourage you to be participating live whenever you can. All right, so what do? You find a class you want to see. So over here, you can see on this last page, this is our website. And if you go over here to the training area, it's got upcoming classes. And you just click on the training and it'll pull them. It'll have some featured ones. Then you can click view all events and you just scroll on down through it and it'll show you all the upcoming events. And it does have, like, this is a conference, this TCECP is the Technical Conference for Environmental Permitting and Construction. That's live and in person. That is not included in your All Access course, but the others are. So you have to make sure, and it'll say down here at the bottom, All Access Pass. So you can make sure that you know for sure that is part of the program. And so you see an artificial intelligence one coming up here, and you see this energy policies one that was, I believe that was yesterday. And again, we do have classes through all those different categories, and they're suitable for Arthur was in a class yesterday. And so he's the CEO of a company, and we have him suitable all the way from somebody who's brand new to the industry, brand new to your company, all the way through your executives. So to register for a class, you have to have an SGA profile. So you go over here and see how I selected this class, Introduction to ESG. I did that from the training area that we were just in. And then I select register here, which is this green button where the arrow is pointing. If you don't have a profile, I'll go through that in a second, but you can get one set up by going to our member services department and calling or emailing them and just sending off. If you can't set it up or you're having a hard time setting it up yourself, it's frankly very easy. But if you're struggling, don't beat your head on a wall. Just ask for a little help, and we're here to help you. And we have outstanding member services, and you can just email them your business card. Essentially, we can get it set up for you and just send you back a confirmation that your profile's set up and you can get going. Okay, so you choose the class you want to take and you select register now, and then you log in with your credentials. So if you already have credentials, that you'll come here and you'll use your credentials that you have. And so all of SGA's systems have a single sign-on. So your sign-on here is your same sign-on in the campus. So you can reset and get a new password if you can't remember what your password is. So again, so you register for the class, and then here's the next example right here. You complete your registration, right? You confirm that this is the class you want. You indicate down here whether you want the recording. Like I said, it'll be available for 45 days on the LMS. And then you move on. And then you go over here and you say you complete your registration. You receive and complete it, or you can register for another event. So if you see more than one, you don't have to keep going in and out of the system all the time. You can say, hey, I want to register for another event. You can continue to register for another one. And then you put your code, you confirm your order to check out, and you enter your company code. And when you enter your company code, it will zero out the balance. So it'll show $295, $595, whatever the course price is if you weren't an All Access member. And when you put your company code in, it zeroes out the price. And so you just proceed like that. And all your companies were provided with a flyer with your code that they are to distribute to you. But again, if you didn't get that from your company, you can let member services know and we can give you your code. So then you register for your class right here. So you're registering here. And so you can add it to your calendar if you want to add it to your calendar. And then if down here, you see you'll receive an email confirmation that says you're registered, and it will provide a link to access the course. And we are doing our training in Teams at this present time. So it's a Teams link that you'll receive. So let me stop for a second because that was a lot. Is there anybody have any questions about how to access this? Anything, you can put it in the chat, you can come off mute, whatever is easiest for you. I want to make sure you all feel comfortable.
Hey, Suzanne, would you be willing to send over this presentation? That way we can take this and upload it to our our system. Okay.
Absolutely. It's actually in the, so I had Martha drop these into the chat box, and so they're in there. So there's Perfect. An all-access course catalog that's in Excel, because it's available on the website in a PDF so that you can look at it easily in a calendar format. But we also dropped it into Excel so you can drop down and sort easier if you want. The new how to set up a new profile is in there, and the presentation is in there as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then so if you're new to the SGA system, maybe you're new to SGA, maybe you're new to the system, either way, you got to set up an account. So to set up an account, you go on the same place. And when you see over here, it says, are you new? And you can set this up here and you add yourself. And then here's a new customer profile instructions about how to do it. So you search for your company name. And then if you're having a hard time finding your company, just let us know. But your company will be in there, and then you add your profile, and it's a pretty painless process. So one of the things that the learning team's been doing and working with our learning committees as well as creating learning paths. So like I said, they're created by L&D professionals, and then they're championed by our councils and our committees and our task force to make sure. So this is an example of advancing as a natural gas professional. So this is around industry basics and communication. So right, you start off with introduction to the natural gas industry, right? That gives you a really good high level understanding of how the industry works all the way from the drill bit to the burner tip. Right. So you start at production, go all the way through distribution, and then you would move into natural gas champion. So once you really understand the industry, then you can be an advocate for the industry and talk about how natural gas fits in there. And now we're not mandating anybody to go out and do anything they're not comfortable with. I think the whole point of natural gas champions is we want you to be authentic. We want you to be authentic, and we want you to connect with people in your world, in your life, wherever they are. And the Natural Gas Champions comes from the mindset of open a mind, never a confrontation, right? It's just get people curious. And then you can go into gaining community support. So this is just an example of one of the learning paths that are there. And there are other learning paths as well. And they range, as you can see here, from introductory to advanced courses. So they can help you with a roadmap of your development goals. Now, what I'm going to tell you is go check with your own company, right? Go back and check with your company. Say, here's a recommended learning path. How do you feel about this? Does this align with what you're thinking over here? So that you're making sure that you're tying that back together. Because like I said, we got 600 companies, right? Everybody does things a little bit different. So we can provide some recommendations. And this doesn't mean that you can't add or tweak this to your own benefit or for your company. So everybody, I want you to know there's reporting and measurement here. So how do your companies know that the money that they're spending is going to good use, right? So most of the classes have a pre and a post quiz to make sure that there's a demonstration of knowledge that's gained. It will report that back. There'll also be a survey for how was the class. So we'll report that back. And then we're going to provide monthly reports to your company on who registered and who attended, right? So if you go register for a bunch of things and think you're going to get the credit to your company, we're also going to provide a cross-reference for who attended. And we know who watches them on the 45-day on demand as well. So we'll incorporate that in there. And this isn't just this is to make sure your company knows that they're getting value out of their investment. And it's also to show, I mean, this is your opportunity. I'm using this word go-get-itness, which I like the word. I'm not sure how you spell it, but this is an opportunity for you to demonstrate that you're taking your career seriously, right? So when a resource is provided to you, you can sit on the sidelines and watch it go by, or you can say, hey, I want to be a shining star in my company. So I'm taking this. And so that's your opportunity to shine and get visibility too for your investment in your career and your company. So this is just natural gas champions. This is a slide. This is just an example of it. We just taught this up at Berkshire Hathaway in person this week. And you can see we work through it and everybody leaves with an elevator speech. And I really encourage everybody to be champions for our industry. Our industry is under pressure. It has a long life and there's a lot of opportunity here, but we do need to have champions throughout our industry. And you are all the best champions that we have. And then lastly, this is the conference schedule. So now let me open it up to questions that you guys have. Comments, classes you want to see.
Good morning, this is Jody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I get a lot of requests for Part 192 training. I know I've seen it on there for purchase, but I'm just curious if you guys have considered adding that.
It is in there. It is a DOT 192 classes in the virtual all access.
It is. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for letting us know. And we will make sure, right now, I think it's set up quarterly. If we, I think we want to make sure that we have a good, robust attendance at it, not overkill. So if we need to modify a frequency of it, we can do that.
Good morning, Suzanne. This is Shannon Spack from Williams. I just have a question about how often this is offered, this intro course. So as we roll out all access to all of our employees, will this particular course that we're attending right now be offered at some frequency so new enrollees can take this information?
Yeah, so we recorded it this time. It's a great question, Shannon, because you got to make sure you know how to use what you have, right? I mean, there's no sense put it on the shelf and not use it. So we recorded it this time, but I'll do it again. I'm happy to do this as often as I need to do it. My primary goal is to make sure that every employee gets the maximum. And we just did our 5-year strategy for SGA. And one of our core pillars of our strategy is to make sure that our members who are already paying dues members get the most out of their membership. And so this is my success depends on you guys understanding how to use the programs.
Great. Thank you.
Anybody else got questions? Recommendations for classes? I think, let me see if I'm going to see if I can pull this up real quick for you. I was, let's see if I can get over here and show this. Stop sharing for a second. And I'm going to show you the courses there. I know it's in there, but I think this might be helpful for you as well, if I can get it up. All right, this, and I'll make it bigger because I can't see. Do you guys see the, you see yourselves or do you see the spreadsheet?
We see ourselves.
Oh, well, aren't you all looking lovely today? Now, do you see the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a list on the courses. This is in the Dropbox, but see, I organized it by the category that they fall in. And these are the list of the courses that are offered in the first 6 months. And I also wanted, these also align to SGA interest groups that are in there in the connected SGA. And so here's the DOT 192 compliance for pipeline operators. If you don't agree with the category that we have it in, let us know. I mean, that's good information because we want to make sure we're quantifying this in a way that makes sense to you.
That spreadsheet, I will tell you, is amazing and very helpful. I use it all the time in my monthly newsletter, and I get such positive feedback.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that.
So please don't stop doing it because we reference it a lot.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate you giving us that feedback. Any other questions for anybody? All right, well, while there's no questions, let me just introduce the rest of my staff that's on here real quick. I've got Celeste up in the right corner. Celeste is our Director of Finance. You may have run into her in the committee realm before. Reagan is our Director of Strategy and Member Experience. He's over here with the red hair and the green. Drew is she does mutual aid, and she is working with the conference planning committees, and she does the surveys. So she sees everything that you say and helps relate that back to us, so we can come from a point of continuous improvement. And then we got Taylor over here on the bottom right. He is a committee manager and works with many of our committees. And up at the very top right, you've got Susan Joyner. Susan Joyner is in our exhibits and our sponsorship area. And then I already introduced Abby and Francesca and Martha. So I'm going to give you guys one more chance for questions. I'm going to drop my email into the chat box. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me directly, whatever we need to do to make sure that you're getting the maximum benefit from this program. And tell a friend if you think they'll benefit from it. So. All righty. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us this morning. Have a great day.
Great. Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was very helpful. I really like the pathway too. I'm going to actually publicize that in my monthly newsletter.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.